creative continuity. We bring the convention to you.
Again, special edition here with Creative Continuity and Darryl DMC McDaniels. How you doing?
How you doing? What's up, y'all? Creative continuity continues on. You know, the geek and the nerd is busting out of me right now. Because what's cool about this is only comic books. And as a kid, me and my brother, we was laced with Marvel. DC was cool, but it was Marvel. So as I walk through here, I'm starting to see issues that I had. And it's funny because me and my brother, we did a big comic book sale so we could raise money to buy 2 turntables and a mixer.
Wow.
When hip hop came over the bridge from the Bronx. Before music, for me it was comic books. That's all I did, was read and draw comic books.
And Marvel, so you said Marvel.
Yeah, Marvel was cool because it was New York City.
Right.
I grew up in Queens. You know, I was one of those kids that had to be in the house before the street lights came on.
Likewise.
So Marvel showed me places in New York that I heard about that I couldn't go to. DC was cool, Gotham and Metropolis, but Marvel showed you Park Avenue, Bleecker Street, Empire State Building. The first time I saw the Roosevelt Island tram was in Spider-Man.
Wow.
And then I remember the day me and my mother and father drove to the city and I saw it, it was like shocking. Oh my God, there it goes.
Oh, wow.
So that's why Marvel was appealing to me, I guess, because it was New York City. And then when hip hop came over the bridge, everything that comic books is to me, confidence, creativity, imagination, writing ability, I put down the art pencil, picked up the rhyme writing pen. So all my lyrics, all my vocals, my look, my sound, my delivery was just me acting out a comic book.
Wow, so you had an incredible music career, as we all know. Kevin Smith quoted you, always been a master storyteller on a microphone.
Right.
But now you're a master storyteller with the comic book.
The comic book graphic novel.
The king of rock is now the king of comics.
I went to have a meeting about music.
Right.
And I was meeting with Riggs Morales, who worked with Shady Records and Eminem for that marvelous venture. And we was talking about music. And he said, yo, before we talk business, I want to fan out a little bit. I'm usually very professional. What was it like when you was a kid? And I was like, when I was a kid, man, I went to Catholic school my whole life and I read comic books. And when I said comic books, he gave me this look like, and then the heavens opened up and the angels started blowing the harps and the horn. So we sat there for like 3 hours talking about comic books.
Wow.
And then he was like, yo, D, you ever think about doing a comic book? I was like, nah. You know, I don't want to be another rapper just because I had a hit record doing something else just because I think I could do it. And he was like, yo, D, don't do the comic book as DMC the rapper, do it as Darryl McDaniels, the little kid who grew up loving comic books. And he said, you already are everything a superhero is. Your look, your sound, your delivery, you wear glasses, you're smart. Even to the point he really rocked my head, but D, you're even adopted like a superhero. Because when I was 35 years old, I found out that I was adopted. That was a secret I didn't even know my whole life.
Wow.
All at St. John's, all at Christmas in Hollis. Son of Byford, brother of Al. Banner's my mother. That's like son of Odin.
Yeah.
So it all was there. So he said, D, this comic book you already have. All you got to do is just put it in a great universe. So we said, yo, let's put it in the 80s-like universe.
Right.
Because the 80s was one of the most creatively visual and literarily if that's a word, stimulating times.
Right.
So the comic book is Darryl McDaniels. The only thing different is, in this universe, my superpower is hip hop and rock and roll. I use that superpower, change the world with Run-D.M.C. In the comic book graphic novel, it's Darryl McDaniels, Hollis, Queens, New York. I go to St. John's University, but I become a teacher. I never meet Run. I don't become a rapper. A superpower in the comic book is superpowers. So it's me. but in a different universe as a superhero. That's
This-
all it is to it.
Your superpowers in a comic book is superpowers?
Superpowers. You gotta read the comic book to find out what they are.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? But they're not superpowers where I get struck by lightning and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's synonymous with, we all have a gift of power. And there's gonna be a time when it manifests itself. And when it manifests itself, how will you use it? DMC's not the only superhero. I'm just the first superhero introduced to you. Issue 2, we're gonna introduce a new hero, so on and so forth. Everything that Marvel and DC is doing is what Darryl Makes Comics is gonna do. In the last 10 years, with hip-hop music, these songs is coming out, and 3 months later, they're gone. There's some good stuff coming out, but PE songs will be eternal. Run-DMC songs will be eternal. God was in here telling me my 9-year-old daughter and my 4-year-old son thinks Tricky is the coolest thing ever. That's going to happen for every generation for eternity. Batman, Superman, Iron Man, and Hulk created when they were created. Grandfathers, great-grandfathers. I was a kid when Batman came out. In the last couple of years, hip-hop hasn't had anything significant that this generation could define itself with.
Right.
They just got that guy who got a lot of money and sold a lot of records and Dayton Hug. You know, when we walked the red carpet,
Right.
I always tell kids, it wasn't just the fact that I was famous and on TV and on the radio. When we walked the red carpet, nobody never said to Run-DMC, where'd you get your big gold change from?
Right.
Who's your designer? It was always, why are you, whether it was De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest, Public Enemy, you know what I'm saying? Rakim, why are you young people using the music that you're using and saying what you're saying?
Right.
Our culture is hip hop. We allow the successful commercialization of our culture to be only celebrated with ignorance and stupidity. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everything that is negative is what we're celebrating with hip hop right now.
Right.
Wycliffe said to me, DMC's the only guy that could sing about chicken and collard greens in St. John's University and make it gangster.
Right.
Wycliffe said that's
This
power.
is true. This is
So
true.
I want to take superhero, geek, nerdy stuff and let the people know that geeks and nerds is the most powerful force in the face of the earth. Why? Because we use imagination and we use creativity to create a perfect, powerful, unique, controversial, introspective existence. Batman, Superman, DMC as a superhero for eternity. Because it's not about me, it's bigger than me. The Twitter is @DMC Makes Comics, and my Instagram is @DMC Makes Comics. I always get confused because my company is Darryl Makes Comics.
Right.
Because when they convinced me to do the comic book, they said, D, what's going to be the name of it? DMC, Darryl Makes Comics. It was like, oh, that's perfect, and that's it. But it's
not never dirty and mostly clean. You want to go with that?
D's for never dirty, MC for mostly clean, or Mr. Clean.
All right.
Or D's for doing it all of the time. M's for the rhymes that are on mine.
Okay.
C's for cool as can be, and I wear contacts now so I can see. Used to wear the glasses.
Right.
I wear the glasses in the house though, but I've been wearing the contacts now.
All right, it's Harold Gant, special edition, signing out with Darryl, DMC McDaniels.
And DMC is in the place to be, and the only place for you to be is right here with creative continuity. The place to be.
All right, man.